Good start there, and we've got a very, very interesting race ahead of us. It's Neykova here who is going to be really the one to watch. She's a high-rating sculler, and she's not a big sculler, but she has dominated the World Cup season. She just took the world champion Katerina Ruchau apart in Lucerne. She was fantastic, and she's going to be the interesting one. And Italy, of course, not used to seeing Italian women on this at this kind of level, and she's done very well to get to the final here. Elisabetta Brugo.
Indeed she has. Teammate last year, Erica Spinello, managed to finish 6th, so Brugo will be looking to perhaps at least notch one place higher. But here is the Olympic champion, Dan, Ekaterina Karsten, who this season is doubling up in the Belarus quad, so more work to do.
Well, she doubled up last year as well and came 3rd in both, and she seemed not really to be at the top of her form. I think she doesn't really like doubling up. She's living in Germany and sculling for Belarus, and I think that probably stretches her a little bit far. Sculler from China, Zhang, she really has been doing very well. She's been training in Sweden, and she's been moving very, very well indeed. But the person to watch really is Neykova and, of course, Karsten, the Olympic champion.
Yeah, it's Karsten on the far side there, who's just about got the advantage over Neykova. But Neykova, of course, in that memorable battle in the Sydney Olympics, just denied by 100th of a second by Ekaterina Karsten after a wait of some 20 minutes there. We thought it was going to be a dead heat, but they don't do such things, and Neykova was the loser.
Look at that. We've only not even got to 500 metres, and both of these scullers are a length up on the world champion.
Indeed, through the first quarter, Ruchau going through in 3rd place, ahead of Zhang, with Lavina and the Italian at the back of the field. Well, she's got nothing to lose, and in a sense, Neykova's got no pressure on her, Dan.
Well, no pressure at all, except that she's just sculling very, very beautifully. Pretty high rating there, 33 strokes a minute. She's not a big, powerful person, but she's she moves her boat beautifully. Just see how she sits low. She's very accurate at the front end of the stroke. And Ruchau, really, she's got an awful lot to do here now. She's a good length and a half down on both scullers in 3rd place. Usually a very confident sculler, but she hasn't been going quite so well this season.
Yes, her victory last year was very easy, and she's known all the season that this would be much, much tougher. And Neykova now pulling it out as we see for the first time the youngest, the 23-year-old Russian Yulia Lavina, already with an Olympic bronze and a world silver medal in her collection.
You know, she's not doing too well. She's trailing a little bit at the back here. But it's interesting, just on the far side there, it seems as if Karsten has rather given up on Neykova. Her rating's gone right down over there, and she's sitting in 2nd place, but she's not really trying to match Neykova, who is now flying. She's moved right away to about a length and a half, and look at this. She just sits there, good lie back, sends the boat at the finish, and no bounce at all on this rather choppy water. She's moving very well indeed.
Meanwhile, Zhang getting a little bit closer to Ruchau to battle it out for the bronze medal perhaps here, so that would be a real turn-up. Zhang, of course, was in the famous Chinese for the quadruple scull that caused a seismic shift in the world of rowing when they overturned the Germans in 1993 in the World Championships.
Yeah, that was the only time that Germany has ever lost the quad. They've been dominant since 1984, and that was an extraordinary reversal there when China did so well. But here now we do see that Ruchau, the world champion, is beginning to press Karsten up there on the far side there. She's beginning to press her at about halfway here, but out in front and still moving along at that nice, comfortable 33 strokes a minute is Neykova, and moving beautifully. Look how far up she is now. She's got about 4 lengths, and no one's going to catch her now.
I was just about to say, Dan, that's a lead which she surely cannot relinquish. And Karsten, at the moment, obviously, Dan, is going to concentrate more on Ruchau's challenge.
But she's not really responding. She's sitting up there. She's about half a length ahead. Ruchau's really pushing on hard here, and Ruchau is just eating her up. It's the world champion, closest to us in the blue boat, who is just moving right through the Olympic champion, who doesn't really seem to be resisting. She's out there, she hasn't raised her rating, she's just still moving along there at about 28 strokes a minute. Look at that, you can see her there just in the corner, and Ruchau's through.
Whilst all of that's happening, it's worth mentioning that Elisabetta Brugo, the 30-year-old Italian from Turin, is actually doing rather better than Julia Levina, holding on to 5th spot at the moment now, as Rutschau just looks a little way across to Karsten, and she's getting the better of that argument. That's the bow of Zhang, single scull, coming in between these two, and she's not that far off, Dan.
No, she's got about 500 metres to go. She could still do it, but no one is going to touch Neykova. 4 lengths up.
With less than a quarter of the race to go, so Germany in silver medal position, Belarus in bronze, then China. There's Elisabetta Brugo on the far side with about quarter of a length's advantage over Julia Levina, who's not having a very good day. But here's the 29-year-old from Bulgaria. You might remember her before she was married as a junior, Jadjarova, winning the Junior Worlds in 1991. But this has been a lifelong ambition to win this senior title.
Absolutely has, especially after that Olympic final. But I think Karsten has finally woken up a little bit. She just lifted her rating there. You see how poppy the water is. It's bouncing around. It's nice to get out in front like that when you've got difficult water up ahead, because you can look back on the field, and any mistake you make, you know that it's not having such an effect on you. But here now, Rutschau trying to hold on to 2nd place. And finally, I think it's pride there with Karsten. She's leapt into action, and she's now pushing back. She's such a powerful sculler, Karsten. She can't really enjoy watching people coming past her. But now it's a battle. She's really trying to fight off Zhang for the 3rd place. And Zhang is coming so fast there onto Karsten.
Yes, this is a great finish here. Rutschau just looks across, at the moment looking solid but concerned, because the other two are really flying at her now. And there's still enough time, because Karsten has really raised the rate here, and Rutschau looking just slightly uncertain of herself there, as Karsten continues to make progress here. Zhang's run seems to halt, but Karsten's is still running there. Neykova almost at the line and almost world champion, but Rutschau under real pressure now. The line coming up, but watch for Karsten. At the top of your picture, she's through Rutschau, who hasn't been able to respond to that last sprint from Ekaterina Karsten, who gets the silver with Zhang just a length away in 4th place.
What a great win there for Neykova. What a fabulous result. And after 1 year off, to have a baby, she's back on top. But what a wonderful finish for Karsten. That's back to the old Karsten, I think. And